one of the things that can really help is like some example videos up front. So it's like, so you could send like a couple of examples, like, are you thinking, you know, so you could send them an example of kind of more upbeat, kind of, you know, more typical, I would say, you know, real estate video, and then a couple different versions of that. And then she could then say either yes or no. And then, you know, at that point you're like, oh, that's very clear. It's like, okay, she doesn't want that. Then what
Yeah.
are you wanting? And then you know to have that conversation. So I think that could be super helpful up front. And then, yeah, so I feel like that's probably like the easiest way to kind of weed through what their expectations are. Cause it seems like there's two types of clients. There's like, or there's probably more than two, but you kind of typically run into either A, they're like, I don't really know what to do. Like, I want you to help me figure out what we should do. Or, you know, B, they have a fairly clear idea of like, okay, this is what we want to do. And they just want you to do that. And so kind of knowing up front how much wiggle room you have. Sometimes like I've turned clients down because they said, this is what I want. Will you do it? It was like, I don't, that's not really what we do. So like, if you want to do that, we're probably not the right fit for you. It's not that I think your idea stinks. It's like, so like one of the clients, it was like, they wanted us to come and shoot a bunch of just like footage that they could end up using for just whatever they wanted in the future, not necessarily project specific. And for one, I know I'm not very good at that. Like for me, it's super helpful for me to have an end product in mind when I shoot it. I did honestly, and I still would hold by, I think that doesn't actually serve them as well. Because you end up with a lot of generic kind of meh footage. Whereas when you have a specific idea, you can actually create something really good and targeted. So I kind of pitched that back to them and was like, we don't really do that version because I honestly don't think it'll serve you as well. So here's what we can do. And I kind of pitched them on a different idea, and they end up hiring someone else and going and doing what they wanted to do anyway. So, you know, so you can do that. It depends on, or you can just go in if you're happy to do it the way that they want to do it, and maybe you just don't post it, and that's totally fine too. Like, but in terms of like whether or not you post a different version, like I honestly, I don't necessarily see a problem with it. You could do like, you could label it like director's cut or something like that, and you wouldn't upload to your stuff the other version.